Hey guys, welcome to the Spotlight. My name is Dan Force, and we've got something real special for you today. Our main event for this Spotlight is a roundtable for the playoffs. So we're going to be going over who the teams to beat are, what the upsets are, and all that stuff. So look forward to that. All right, just a little bit of housekeeping, guys, before we get into the roundtable. The first one, we got our Finish Strong incentives going on in the month of August. You can win some NFL tickets by bundling internet deals. People who went last year loved it. They said it was a life-changing event, so definitely make sure you don't miss out on this. You guys want to be pushing for it. The second one we got going for the Finish Strong incentives is the Win Your Office TV and Win Your Apple TV. And the way you do that is you'd be either the top rookie on TSI in the month of August or the top veteran on TSI in August. And then just the final little bit of housekeeping is there's still a chance to extend your summer if you want to. If you do, there's some really sweet prizes that you can get by doing so. So I really encourage you guys, if you're planning on extending, definitely make sure you jump onto the Now Reps page on Facebook, and that you go ahead and fill out that form on there and extend your summer. All right, guys, here's our main event, the roundtable for the playoffs. Let's just jump right into this thing.
What is up, my dudes? I have assembled here an incredible Knights of the Round Table to discuss Dave's favorite incentive of the year, the playoffs. So we're going to jump into it. Before we get to it, though, rules is rules. Dan, take it away and tell us what the rules are.
Hey, thanks, Johnny. Just going to go over the quick rules and maybe clarify some things for you guys. The first thing is that we're introducing a new way to score the playoffs. It's a 4-list scoring system. So what that means is there's going to be 4 lists that you and your team want to be at the top of. Those 4 lists are TSI, TSS, quality score, and per rep average. So the closer your average score across those 4 lists is to a number 1, the better the average. So a perfect score would be 1. That would mean that you took first place in TSS, TSI, QSI, and PRA. In the event of a tie, the tie will go to straight TSI. If it's still a tie, then it will go to TSS. If a score is judged too close to call, the match will enter arbitration. Now what that means is that corporate at that point we'll use our best judgment to decide who the winner of that match is. So I guess my advice is to you guys, don't let your match go into arbitration. Make sure that that you're far enough ahead that there's no question that you guys won. And then it's a 3-day rounds in the winners bracket. The losers bracket has a couple 2-day rounds, a couple 1-day rounds. For all that information, go to the live bracket that's on the Now Rep Facebook page. And then the final rule I just want to clarify is that sandbagging is against the rules, and your team could sustain heavy penalties for doing it. So especially if you've got a bye in this first round, we're paying attention to you guys. Like, don't think you're going to sneak under the radar because we're watching it. So let's have a fair fight. And with that said, let's get into this thing.
Thank you, Dan the man. All right, I'm excited. Winners are getting a trip to Lake Powell for the reps and the technicians. So pretty impressive prizes on the line. David Clarence Force, who's your tourney favorite, man?
This year, my tourney favorite is going to be Jay Passon and Landslide. I've watched Jay for the last 12 months prep his team to get ready for this tournament. I know a lot of strategy, thought, effort has gone into this thing. I know Invictus coming into it is probably the favorite just because they have so much momentum. But knowing the preparation that's happened all year, Landslide's my pick.
Woo! That's a risky pick, going with Landslide, huh? That's a good one. I think they could pull it off, but I'm going with the Invictus team, and here's why. I've traveled the entire company, and I feel like that team is the most bought in, the most unified, and has the most desire to go win this thing. They're going to have some stiff competition, no doubt, but I'm going to go with the Invictus team on this, and I'm pretty good at these fantasy picks. So, let's go to you, Nick. You're looking sharp in that shirt, man.
Thank you.
Who's your favorite matchup here this first round?
First round, my favorite matchup is Chaos versus Optima. I think Chaos is a sleeper in this. They've got some talent down there, and Brandon Ewell just had a baby, and got to get them on the doors. Chaos is going to go beat him, I think, this round.
All right.
Chaos is one of those teams that could have a scary good PRA or average per rep.
Yeah.
They just look really dangerous in this thing.
Got a lot of talent.
Dude, Booty, you're also looking pretty sharp. Maybe it's just something about those shirts. I don't know. But
Just copying Nick, that's all.
who's your favorite matchup in this first round, Booty?
I like that Siege Landslide matchup, and I'd almost say that's probably the one to watch.
That is going to be a great battle. Well, Cam Conley, who's your Cinderella pick for this tournament?
I got a Cinderella pick. So I've also traveled around all the different offices, and I played spike ball in a lot of those different offices. I'm going to chalk this one up to where I got the best spike ball game, because obviously those guys are the most competitive. Nick and I were there. These guys battled out there in Supremacy, and I think that what are they, ranked number 2 seed coming in? I don't know if it's really a Cinderella story, but Supremacy, I think you guys are going to go all the way. Nick Bailey out there is going to lead you guys straight to Lake Powell. So that's my pick, is Supremacy.
That's a good one. Well, let's go to our technician. We got one guy representing the tech side of the company, Mr. Fabian, dude. What's your pick for a Cinderella pick?
So I think in most sports and in competitions, momentum has so much to do with how people perform. I look at NBA, NFL, teams are in the playoffs, they have their spot secured, and they give their star athletes a week off or a game off. And I just think that momentum has everything to do with it. So my upset pick is actually Siege. I think they're going to disrupt some things in the playoffs. They just are coming off their best week of the summer. If there's any time to have momentum, it's right now. And I think Siege is just going to keep pushing with that and really disrupt some things. So
We haven't really talked about it, but the techs have a lot to do with this. I mean, it's part of it, right? Like total score install, and they got a great tech program out there.
And QSI. I mean, so getting the techs to buy in and do same days is huge in the strategy to rank higher and win this thing.
Dude, Supremacy has the best tech, right?
Supremacy.
Dude.
There's a lot of arguments for which team has the best techs, but really what it comes down to is which techs and reps are going to work together and really buy in and be a team and have a team effort going into the playoffs. It's not going to be just the team that has the best techs, because it's going to take some work to be working together to accomplish.
And that's why Invictus is going to win. That's why I picked it right.
If I was going to narrow it down to one word, it's desire. Whoever has the greatest desire to do it. It's going to take late nights, hard work from the technicians and the team. Supremacy.
I agree. Well, let's jump into some upset alerts. Boudreaux, dude, who's your upset pick for this tournament?
I had a Relentless written down, but I think I might just go with putting Siege on upset alert. They're an 8 seed and Landslide's a 9. And like Dave said, Landslide has that advantage of J-Paw having spent a year, telling everybody it was the only thing he cared about. So I know he's got a lot of passion for it. So I'm going to put a Siege on upset. Say the Landslide's going to pull it out.
The Landslide. So you're picking Landslide to upset Siege. All right. Well, a team that has not been talked about that when they want to, they can throw down like crazy, and they have great technicians. My upset alert for this tournament, I don't even know if it's an upset alert. They're a 3rd seed, but I've got Grizzly. I think they can come in and upset a lot of teams for this. But talked a lot. Really what it comes down to is strategy. We went into it a little bit, but Nick Gifford, man, he's a strategy master. He's won this thing, twice now? 2 different times. So coming from a 2-time champion, what's the strategy, man? How do you go win this thing?
2 times at this company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, we did it at other companies.
Other companies too, so.
And my former employer.
What do they got to do to win?
Dude, there's so much that goes into it. It's not. I mean, it's like what Brandon was talking about with Landslide. It's leading into it. It's what Fabian was talking about, momentum. But over the next 3 weeks, it has to be just a ridiculous work ethic. They have to live, breathe, eat nothing but the playoffs. There were times that, maybe we had a slow day, and at 12:30 at night, I was calling everybody out for a meeting, rallying them together outside. It's pitch black, and I was in their face, just wooden style, screaming at them like they had to pull it together. I think it comes down to a couple things. One, every guy has to do his job, and every guy needs a job. Like you can't. One guy can't bagel. It screws everything up. Everybody he has to pull his weight on the team. So I think it's important from the manager's side that he's giving everybody a responsibility, whether it's somebody that's the hype guy every day, somebody that's going to play videos, somebody that's whatever it may be, but also somebody that's going to go out and compete against the other team one-on-one. He's got to match people up. The other thing that I think from a manager's perspective is he's got to know the vibe of his office. It gets long. 3 weeks of 9 to 9 can be brutal. And you've got to pace that in a certain way to know that you're either the guys are burning out, the guys are hot, strike while the iron's hot, push them when they need to be pushed, back off when they need to back off in a certain way.
Nick, I was just going to say, I agree with everything that you had for these guys, but the one thing I was going to add to it is you had it a little bit tougher, to be honest. If you look at the bracket, it's not quite as long this time. The road to Lake Powell is through the winner's bracket. That's it. So to me, it's before it was more of a marathon. Now it's a sprint. It's getting as many hours as you can in every single day.
It's only 2 weeks, right?
I have all these managers calling me right now saying, hey, how do I win this? What's your advice? My first question every time is, what's your correlation? And guys are telling me, oh, it's at 11 or it's at 10:30 or it's at 9:30. That's where they're going wrong already. Like if you want to go jump out, beat other teams, push your way through this tournament and really dominate it, it's hours on the door. There is no secret sauce. That's it. Just work ethic.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. There were some things that we did with that, like with lunches, for example. A lot of times we would bring lunch in. We would bring lunch in before the day ever even started. So to correlation. So guys would pack their pockets full. The other thing we would do is if we were going to stop for lunch, it was Subway. We knew what Subway it was. We knew when we were going to be there. If a guy was on the doors and we couldn't grab him within a 30-minute window and have lunch and get him back on the doors in 30 minutes, he got left on the doors and we brought him his sandwich. There was not 1 hour, 2 hour lunches, time to pick up guys, get them back there. So I agree with you.
Hey, great advice from some amazing leaders in our industry. This thing's going to be fun. It all comes down to the teamwork of you guys coming together with your technicians and desire. That's to me, somebody threw that out there, but whoever wants this the most is going to go win this. We love you guys. Keep up the great work. Have fun in playoffs.